Jakobi Meyers will not play again for the Las Vegas Raiders. My name is Mitchell Renz. You're watching the Raiders Report. And if you want free Raiders videos every single day, make sure you click that subscribe button. If you're also looking to have a good time today, because like Ashton Genty said it yesterday during the press conference, when he's playing football, he's trying to have a good time. When you're watching the Raiders Report, I want you to have a good time. I'm sick and tired of all the Jakobi Meyers trade rumors. I'm sure you guys are just like me, because when you sell Jakobi, it means you're a seller. And obviously, I was hoping that the Raiders would be buyers and winning football games this year. But if you want to have a little bit of fun, hit that subscribe button. Pull up tonight for us, Thursday Night Football. So what I'm going to be doing on today's show is I'm going to give you guys my opinion on why I'm sitting up here saying I don't think Jakobi Meyers is ever going to play another game for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's never going to wear the silver and black jersey again. I'm not sitting up here telling you that I was told by somebody from Jakobi's team. I was not told by a source, but I am somebody that where there is smoke, there is fire, and there is so much smoke right now around a Jakobi Meyers trade. Let's go to the very first reason of why he's not going to play again for the Raiders. Everybody under the sun knows that there are multiple NFL teams interested in Jakobi, a receiver that earlier this offseason was named one of the most underappreciated wide receivers in the National Football League. And I get it. Maybe his numbers aren't as good as what we've seen in years past, only the 29 catches, 329 yards, but I don't really think that that's a Jakobi Meyers issue. The reason why there are multiple teams interested, according to Adam Schefter, Jeremy Fowler, Josina Anderson, Ian Rappaport, every single NFL insider is reporting that there are multiple teams interested. Why? Because he is a humble receiver that does everything he asks for him, and he is a sure-handed receiver that will help out multiple teams that are chasing that ultimate prize, the Lombardi Trophy. Let's go to the next reason here of why Jakobi is done in Las Vegas. He sat out of practice on Wednesday, and I am recording this before we know what exactly happens on Thursday's practice, but if I had to guess, Jakobi Meyers isn't going to be there. I did see some people yesterday joking, oh man, he's going to go to California. He was at the Lakers and Mavs game. It is very important to mention that if you look at the picture, you'll also see he was at T-Mobile. He was at Las Vegas. Now, I'm bringing this up because think about the offseason. When Jakobi asked to be traded, the Raiders literally were like, no, that's not going to happen. He showed up at practice later on that day. When there has been non-mandatory things, Jakobi Meyers is showing up. So you're telling me the week before we played the Kansas City Chiefs, the biggest week of the entire season, Jakobi Meyers isn't practicing? He's not practicing because he doesn't want to get injured for a team that's going to make a deal for him. I know that sucks to be able to hear it, and I think Jakobi's done everything right this offseason, but I don't know if this is a Las Vegas Raiders telling him to sit out. Personally, I think it is Jakobi and his agent saying, hey, I gave you guys an opportunity. You're not giving me that brand new deal. I'm not going to go out there and practice because I don't want to risk injury. That is one of the biggest reasons why I think he's going to end up getting dealt. But I put out a video yesterday kind of talking about a lot of the rumors that were circulating, and there were still a lot of people saying, Mitch, he's not going to get traded. Well, now's your opportunity. Go down to the comments section. It's going to be the pinned comment. Will Jakobi Meyers get traded? Trade or keep? Let me know down below. Obviously, I started the show off saying I don't think he's going to play another game here for the Las Vegas Raiders, which I'll admit, man, it feels like a little bit of a kick in the nuts because when you think of the term commitment to excellence, when you think of what the mentality of compete is supposed to stand for, I think it's everything that Jakobi Meyers embodies as an NFL player, as a man, and as a Raider. So with that being said, if the Raiders decide to move on, or when the Raiders decide to move on from Jakobi Meyers, the new team, they're going to take on $7 million this season. He's going to be a free agent in 2026. What's really important, because of the new NFL comp rule, the Raiders are projected to get a fourth-round comp pick. So if you're the silver and black and you trade Jakobi Meyers and you don't get at least a fourth-round pick in return, I think that is a very, very, very bad look for this organization. In terms of the Raiders, you're going to take on $7.8 million this season and then $4.3 million next season because, reminder, they already restructured his contract one time. Let's go to the next, why Jakobi is done in Las Vegas. I think yesterday is a very telling thing. Why? The report came out from Ricky Scoops, and he has already deactivated his account. I don't know. It's kind of been a weird thing that Ricky's been doing, but you also got to be able to face the facts. he has gotten more stories right, I think, than a lot of NFL insiders out there. And he literally activated his account, said, it sounds like Raiders wide receiver Jakobi Meyers is being traded out of town and won't be in silver and black much longer. A few hours later, he ends up sitting out Raiders practice, which is something that he hasn't done literally all off season. And then also right after that first report from Ricky, then there's a report from the New England Patriots. I'll say it right now. I believe the number one team most likely to make a deal for Jakobi Meyers is the team that he started his career with, the New England Patriots, with the guy that traded for him from New England to go to Las Vegas. Who is it? Josh McDaniels sitting over there with the offensive coordinator. We also know this. Tom Brady's got a really good relationship with Mike Vrabel. He was trying to bring Mike Vrabel to Las Vegas before accepting the job with the New England Patriots. Coming up next year, though, I got even more reasons why I believe number 16's time in Las Vegas is unfortunately done. Before we get into that, though, fall time, it's here. This is probably one of my favorite times of the year, not only because of all the sports that are going on, but I'm a basic Mitch, I'll say it, and I love when a good-smelling pumpkin, a good little pumpkin patch, and the fact that fall's here, crisp air is here, football, maybe a bonfire or two, but if you're like most guys, you're still putting in that hard work. And yeah, that means sweat. Don't let body odor sideline you. Mando deodorant plus sweat control is for the real working guys. Formulated to stop odor before it starts and doesn't mask odor with overwhelming fragrance. So you can tackle anything from the job site to tailgating with confidence. Don't mask it, Mando it. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Mando, I like it because it's easy on my skin, and I use a lot of deodorant. I walk to work and do live shows almost every single day, so I need those premium ingredients. Unlike odor deodorants loaded with chemicals, Mando uses only premium ingredients like gentle metalic acid to help keep your skin fresh, which is definitely what I need. Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice. Think of it like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code CHAT at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. That's shopmando.com. Please support the Raiders Report. Tell them that we sent you. Mando's got you covered. Protect your pits. Smell great doing it. Huge shout out to Mando for sponsoring the Raiders Report. And again, y'all, those links are going to be available to y'all down in the comments, down in the description of today's program. All right, let's keep it moving here of why I believe Jakobi's time is done in Las Vegas. The Raiders have a Week 8 bye, and then the NFL trade deadline is going to be November 4th. What's interesting, and when you look at the Raiders schedule, I put this in terms of what happens first. So you got your Week 7 game at Kansas City. Then you have your Week 8 bye. If you're Jakobi Meyers, technically you could play for Kansas City or against Kansas City, and then you could play against Jacksonville. But because this game is on November 2nd, this game here is on November 6th. It's a Thursday night game. And then the NFL deadline is on Tuesday. If you're Jakobi Meyers, essentially what you're telling your agent is, hey, I want to be playing for another football team come Week 9. I don't want to be a member of the Las Vegas Raiders anymore. And maybe deadlines make deals, but I am sitting up here saying, with all the reports, with all the rumors, with all the smoke and all the fire, even if Jakobi Meyers is on the Raiders, he's not going to play in the game because I think he's going to rest so he gets dealt before the deadline. Because if he doesn't, or if he doesn't rest, he has that risk of injury, and that really limits his ability to go sign with another team, which then limits his ability to sign a bigger contract next offseason when he hits the open market. Let's go to the other reason here, and we got a few more. He's already requested a trade, right? Like him and his agent earlier this offseason, they requested a trade, and then the Raiders, too, like literally a few days later, they go out. They sign Amari Cooper, which really rubbed Jakobi Meyers' team the wrong way. It rubbed a few people also from the Las Vegas Raiders organization the wrong way. So, you know, it's really hard to sit up here because I always say nobody deserves to be put in front of the shield, and I do believe that. But if I'm also looking at it from a Judge Judy standpoint, I'm looking at how the Raiders have handled this situation, and I'm looking how Jakobi Meyers has handled this situation. And quite frankly, I think the way that Jakobi Meyers has handled the situation is about as respectable as humanly possible. So if this is what he's got to do to get dealt, sometimes business, it's a business, man. Before we get into the final reason, again, this is Chiefs weekend. It sucks because I want to be fired up. I want to be ready to go, and I am going to be ready to rock and roll on game day. I don't care if Jakobi Meyers ain't playing because, to me, we can beat Kansas City. And if you're sitting there going, Mitch, why would you ever think that? Because I've seen the Raiders do it before. The Raiders are a bigger underdog, or were a bigger underdog on Christmas Day when they played in Arrowhead. If you didn't see my stat, the referee, Clete Blakeman, his 2-0 all-time for the Las Vegas Raiders in Arrowhead. The last two games that he reffed, Christmas and then October 11th, 2020, when the Raiders also went into Arrowhead and got a dub. But it's Chiefs week. If you made it this far in the video, give me an FKC down below. My guy Wild114 is going to be here in the building on game day. We're going to get wild. It's going to be crazy. I hope to see you there. Let's go to the final reason here of, again, why Jakobi is done in Las Vegas. He's looking for that new contract. And I do really believe whatever team ends up trading for him is going to end up giving him a new contract. I would say the only way that that does not happen is if Jakobi says, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a team that could use me potentially as that wide receiver 1, as that wide receiver 2 with a good quarterback, try to get my numbers up, and then test the open market in free agency next offseason. It's still, we'll see what exactly happens, but since the Raiders don't want to give him a new contract, Jakobi Meyers wants to go elsewhere. If you're trying to ask me, Mitch, which teams are interested, I will say this. The teams that have been confirmed interested in Jakobi Meyers, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots. I did have a source tell me earlier in the week that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were also sniffing around due to the injury with Emeka Egbuka, though I will admit I haven't heard anything in regards to that in quite some time. I'm going to just sit up here and I'm going to go, I think it is a race between the Patriots, the Giants, the Commanders, and the Buffalo Bills. Those, to me, are the top 4 teams that could go out and trade for Jakobi Meyers. Now, again, I want to be very clear. I do this show. I give you guys my opinion, and my opinion is this. Jakobi Meyers will not play another game for the Las Vegas Raiders.